in a conversation with Charlene, the managing director of the company, Anant Daga, spoke about expanding the product portfolio and adding new brands.
The market space that we operate in is a very, very exciting space. It's ethnic women's wear, wherein you have a lot of movement from sari to non-sari customers. You have movement from unbranded to branded. It's a space that also doesn't have any foreign competition. There are a handful of national brands. I think TCNS clothing company, with the strength of having a multi-brand, multi-channel business with a proven retail and product model, is very, very well poised to ride on this growth wave. And I think in the coming years, you'll see good growth.
Sir, I understand that you're restricted to a certain extent with revealing your growth rates that you expect, but I think, can we say around 39 to 40% or 45% is what you're looking at? If you could just give us an indication on that front.
No, I think any indication on that side won't be possible from our end. But I think, again, if you'll just look at the market, dissect it and look at our thing, I think you'll be able to find reasonable levels at which we can grow.
Also, can you give us a little more of an idea about your revenue split? Because, you see a majority of your revenues come from W. Right. And, will this change? Because you have been bringing down your exposure from W and it's moving on to Aurelia and to Wishful. Do we see this continuing? Do we see Aurelia's contribution to revenue increasing over a period of time?
If you look at our business model, we are a multi-brand business. We are a fashion platform. And it's always an idea for us to have multiple brands at different growth stage. W is our most stable brand. Aurelia is a slightly younger brand, and Wishful is something we started focusing last 2 years. So if you look at it, there are different growth rates. They have different shares. W today is 57%. It used to be a much higher share. So of course, as we keep adding brands and all the brands start getting matured, I think the percentages would get more distributed.
And how many brands do you plan to add in the next 2 to 3 years? Because now you have around 3. What are we expecting on that front?
See, as an organization, we have always had very, very selective focus. We have always believed in focusing on one brand and growing it. And once we see stability there, we incubate more brand. So I don't think I can put a number to how many brands. But yes, once we have Wishful in a more stabilized manner, in all probability, you can see us exploring another brand.
Okay. And in what space do we see that in what price range, and also are you going to look at accessories, because that's something you've also talked about. We see it in which space really, and what is the price range of that brand?
So as a company, what we understand is the women's wear business, and that's the space that we guys are going to operate in. There are very exciting opportunities on ethnic side, or probably even a slightly more Indianized version of Western wear. There could be accessory brand. All these are possibilities, and I think given our expertise, we can explore any of these areas. So depending upon the right target, depending upon the right timing, we might decide on the strategy.
Also, can you elaborate a little more on your expansion plans? Because, within the country you have reached a certain scale. And does that limit your expansion going ahead? And geographically, where do we see you going ahead? Which are the other countries that you're looking at?
See, I think we all think India is much smaller than what it is. And we just have 465 stores. All our brands are in very nascent stage. We see a lot of growth opportunities across geographies, across channels. In terms of new stores, we plan to add 75 to 85 new stores every year for next few years, and that I think is a definite possibility. Apart from that, we also want to explore international market. We already have few stores in Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Nepal. So that's again a market which is there for having.
Okay, but if you could elaborate a little more on the other markets that you're looking to expand into?
So it's typically the markets which have Indian diaspora, which has similar seasonal patterns. So it could be a Middle East, it could be Southeast, it could be pockets of US, Canada, these kind of markets.
Okay. And also, if you could elaborate on your various, your present to various, MBOs and exclusive business outlets, and also to the e-commerce space, and also large stores, which has higher margins in from all these various areas of distribution of your products?
See, for us, all these channels are extremely profitable, and there's tremendous growth opportunity. Since we have not shared this data in RHP, I won't be able to share details. But yes, on and all these are very, very attractive avenues to grow business and very profitable.
Okay. And also, can you give us an idea, some guidance on your margin expansion going ahead? Because you've grown pretty well in the last few years. So do we expect this growth rate to continue even on the margin front?
I'm sorry, but again, this is a futuristic question. But if you look at our margins, I think we are in some other sweet spot. If you look at our peers who are mostly in unlisted space in a similar product category, you'll find us to be somewhere in the middle. So I think these margins are pretty sustainable. and depending upon the stage of growth we are, these can move somewhat.